Hello everyone, welcome to the day 9 of 100 Days of Cloud. This is Lakshit Pan from Azure Developer Community. And those, if anyone who has started new, just let me know. Otherwise, if you are the one who has already started this 100 Days of Cloud series, let's get started. And maybe though if someone has joined new for the first time, you'll be getting an email from me shortly. I got a couple of emails that we want to start, but we don't know how and where to start. Just give me some time. I'll quickly draft an email and I'll update you in the group as well that how you can start and how you can just get started with this journey of 100 days of cloud, right? Hi Aksa, hi Tejas. And I'm really sorry for tomorrow and today because uh, tomorrow I was in Triple IIT Delhi. There was this offline session which I have to do, right? And that the timing was a bit odd. I have to do it around 5, right? So that was the problem there, right? So that's why I wasn't able to do the session there. So if I'll just quickly start, right? They just you'll be if you have registered, uh, maybe just give me a second. If you haven't registered, right? If you haven't registered for the 100 days of cloud, please use this link to register for the 100 days of cloud, because only this is the way by which I can send you the emails, right? So yeah, if you haven't registered, if you didn't register, please register using this link, because this is the only way by which I can get your email ID and I can send you the data along with everyone, right? So if you are a new guy, just wait for me. I'll quickly send draft an email after this session, and I'll send it to you, right? Hello Naved, hello Tejas, hello Aksa, everyone, right? Now let's get started. So it was about Azure policies and Azure logs, right? How Azure policies works, how Azure logs works, and I really wanted, I trust you guys. No one would have explored Azure policies. I didn't saw any blog coming in. I saw one blog, some one mention on my LinkedIn, but I didn't knew that. I don't know if it was about Azure logs or Azure policy. I don't know, right? I didn't got the time to look out the LinkedIn right today. Uh, so I'll cover the logs, what is Azure policies. So let's look from a security perspective. As I have told you earlier, when we were talking about on the day 3, when we were talking about virtual machines and everything. Tejas, you will get an email by what's today? It's 25th, right? By tomorrow morning, you will get an email. Tomorrow morning, you will get an email. Yeah, if you have registered, you will get an email for sure. It's like you will get. Bangalore office has a good enough space to accommodate everyone, right? Those who register, so it's fine. See you there. I won't be there. There'll be a couple of folks like Saurav Raghuvanshi. Say hi to Saurav Raghuvanshi from me. Say hi, Lakshit was calling him. Saurav Raghuvanshi will be there. Ayush Rathi sir will be there. There will be some startup folks who will be talking about their product. There will be fintech and AI in fintech, and there will be HR in fintech, right? So these two topics will be there on 27th in Bangalore. So yeah, that's a good set of topics that we'll be having on the day on 27th of January there, right, in Bangalore. Now, coming back to the topic, we were talking about this Azure policies and Azure logs, right? So when you create a virtual machine or when you create a resource, right, you assign particular role to someone, right? So maybe if like Tejas has joined this challenge today only. So suppose if Naved, Aksa, and all these folks have been there from the day one, when so they are maybe like day 8 or day 7, I guess. They would be somewhere like this, right? So if now the Tejas has come to us today only, now we want to assign him some kind of resource. We have assigned, suppose you have assigned some kind of resource to Tejas. What if tomorrow Tejas leaves and he by mistake he deletes the resource by mistake? Or maybe sometimes if the manager is if your manager is scolding you too much, sometimes you can do it, right? Maybe in some kind of a revenge kind of manner, you will just delete the resource and you'll pass on, right? What will happen? Company will go down. The particular resource will go down. If one particular service crashes, everything goes down. Not everything, but everything that relates, that revolves around that particular service goes down. So let's suppose if Tejas is responsible for the play button of YouTube by any chance, right? Play button of YouTube, and by any chance he, or maybe this live session of YouTube, this entire, no one will be able to live stream using YouTube, just because there is no live streaming service added, there is no database added, because Azure functions, there is no service call has been done, because the entire resource group is down now. So how can we prevent that kind of things? First is RBC roles, like role based access control. Jitna kaam hai utna hi role provide karo, like howsoever the requirement is, whatever the requirement, assign those roles only. Do not provide privileged roles, right? This is the one way and this is the ideal way to do so. But if you have any kind of exceptions, what you can always do, and this is something like, if you have some kind of, when your website running, if it if there is any kind of resource that you can't lose even just for 5 seconds, right? Devendra, which AID you are talking about? I'll take these kind of these offline event kind of questions later, right? It's just breaking the flow. I'll take these questions later. You will get an invitation, by the way. So when we talk about these, again, yeah, I forgot what I was talking about. Resource groups, right? So if there is some kind of crucial resources like maybe virtual machines, like containers, Kubernetes cluster, database services, some kind, these kind of stuff, right, which you can't afford to lose, what you can do, you can always apply locks to those kind of resources. Now on that day, we thought, we have explored about how to apply logs. It was just about one command, how you can apply. Now there is one more thing that comes up, that is Azure policy. Now what is policy? That it's more than a RBC role. So more than a RBC role, what policy tells us, you can always create, and it's more like you can create, assign, maybe manage policy. It's more like an RBC roles only, but more than that, in a particular organization, it is the only thing that allows organizations to, maybe create, assign, and manage policies. These policies are basically kind of a rules, or maybe kind of identities, like, that you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't make a virtual machine. So let's suppose, uh, let's take it with an example. So there are two guys. What is One is Devendra, what is Tejas, right? Both of them are new today, right? Now we have given the reader access to them to make virtual machine. So there is one virtual machine named production. So there is one virtual machine named production. Okay. uh, so this is the virtual machine named production, and I have given the read access to them. Now what if they can only read, and whatever they can go through, right? What if they can just, maybe, what if they just make another virtual machine using maybe Azure command? It's not like their Azure portal will only show them the read access to the entire Azure portal, right? They still have access to command line, right? What if they create a particular or deploy a particular resource in that command line? Now no one knows. If today Tejas and Devendra leaves, right, no one knows that this resource has been created. And what if that Devendra has uploaded some kind of his personal stuff, maybe some his portfolio website? He made a VM and he's running his portfolio website through the organization virtual machine, and no one will know about it because no one has access to it. His ID will be shagged. So Devendra at the rate xyz.org has been shagged. No one will be able to see it because he will create the roles like this. No one will be able to manage it, right? No one, even his manager. So this is how, where you can just make sure that in a particular region, let's suppose Devendra came, or Tejas came in the Azure, maybe the North America region or the North Europe region, they won't be able to deploy new Azure services. They won't be able to create new services. They won't be able to create new resource groups. This is how you make a particular rule, that you are assigned this particular task, that is RBAC. You can, this is the policy, you have to follow it. This is the rule book. Like, what kind of something like this, like, right, I'll tell you with an example. So when you were in school, right, you have 8 subjects: maths, physics, science, or whatnot, right? So consider these subjects as the RBC roles, that you are a student and you are supposed to read them, right? Now there has been a pretty much structure that 9 a.m. the assembly start, 10 a.m. the classes start, 1 p.m. the lunch starts. So these are the rule books that has been created. Then you can't s- do lunch at the assembly, right? You can't do that. So that's what we are controlling here. We are making some kind of policies that you can do this, everyone. You can do this, you can do this, you can do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. Simple. Now let's go hands on and let's try to understand what this exactly means, right? So I'll quickly share my screen here. I hope my screen is visible to you all, right? It's visible, right? It's visible to everyone, right? Yeah, it's here. So when we talk about these Azure logs or Azure policies, again, let's jump to the Azure portal only. So by the way, this is the resource group that I already have. This is the product resource group I already have. I have created this later, right? Back then, right? I have created this. There is no resource though inside this. There is no virtual machine. There is nothing inside this. But as it's just a resource group right now, which we have created maybe a couple of days back, right? So now, what I will do, I'll quickly. So there is something you can either, for me, it's coming here policies. What you can do, you can just search for policy. You have to search for policy. Now, as soon as you will search for policy, you will find this. This is the thing that you need to find. This is the policy thing. Okay, you just have to click on this. Okay. Now, as soon as you will click on the policy, you will find a couple of things, right? 100% resource compliance. What is overall resource compliance? See, and just try to understand what is written over here. Count of compliant, exempt, unknown, protected resources. Count of compliant, non-compliant, error, exempt, unknown, protected. Okay, so they have you won't be able to understand these things, right? Let's move ahead, because I don't think there is a relevance right over here. You won't be able to understand these things, right? Compliance is something. How shall I explain you compliance? How shall I explain you compliance? Just give me maybe is Azure come. See, this is the foundation structure looks like, right? There are these particular services. I can set what I can do. I can add some naming standards. Like for naming standards, I can add some tags. I can do some kind of Azure stand automations. From a policy perspective, I can always build some kind of RBAC. I can do resource logs. I can do core network part. Right. This underlines applies to a particular resource group only. Now, what after the subscription is managed by RBAC rules. That is entirely managed by RBAC rules. I'm just looking for something that might be helpful for you. Not this one. Yeah, this is the one that I was talking about. So again, do not worry about these Azure blueprint, Azure resource graphs, and everything. I won't cover these stuff right now. Let's try to understand this only. So you have this ARM we have already studied. You can always make an ARM. You can resource manager. What is resource manager? All the resources you can manage at one point of time from one place. You are managing everything, right? Every resource, like every virtual machine, every storage, network, database, everything is managed through one place. Right now, at every place you can apply some policy, right? What policy? Like who will access this? There you can apply some policy definitions. You can apply accesses. You can apply ARM templates, right? This is how it works. Now, how you can do it? You can simply go to the Azure portal, and there is something called assignments right over here. There is something called assignment right over here. Right now, this has been default assignment that has been given to me. So this has been given to me by Tracy, right? This assignment, I'll click on this. I'll see. I can do these stuff right over. These are the already. So I can perform all these stuffs, right? So this has been already assigned to me. But what I will do in order to create a policy, what we do is I'll show you. Please open. I don't want any ruckus right over here. Yeah, I'll click on assign policy. Okay, I'll click on assign policy. So if you haven't created a resource group, what you can do is copy this link, copy this link, change, maybe copy this command and make a resource group, right? Either you can use PowerShell to deploy. So this is a PowerShell command. This is a PowerShell command. You can use PowerShell to utilize this command, or what you can do, you can just go to Azure portal and make a resource group. That's it. You can just make a resource group like that. So anything works, whatever suits you, just go with that one. Okay. So I have already this resource group created, that is pro done is the resource group name. Now, so you can always select between resource groups, which resource group you want to apply on the policy. So this is the only resource group that I have right now. So I'll click on pro done. Okay. I do not have any else. So I'll click on select. Now, what is exclusions? So what I can do is there can be exclusions. What is written here? Optionally select resources to exclude from policy assignment. So today, if there is a database administrator and I am giving he has been assigned a virtual machines and he is the reader access, right? What if by any chance I have to give him a policy, I have to exempt him from making database. What is exempt? I he can also make some databases. So when you want some kind of privilege, like Tejas को मैंने ये बोला कि Tejas आप you are the reader access, you are managing all these things, but if required you can create the database. If required you can create the database. How you can make it? I can allow, for database part I can exempt the policy. For the database resource I can exempt the policy कि चलो database वाले के लिए या फिर functions वाले के लिए I can just choose the maybe the kind of resource, which resource right now why it's coming no resource, because जो हमारा resource group था उसके अंदर ही कोई resource नहीं है. So right right now if I'll just show you up okay. सो इफ जो हमने रिसोर्स ग्रुप बनाया था उसके अंदर कोई वर्चुअल मशीन होती, उस पर्टिकुलर वर्चुअल मशीन के अंदर कोई अगर ऐसा रिसोर्स है जिसको मैं एक्सक्लूड करना चाह रहा हूँ इस रिसोर्स पॉलिसी के अंदर, तो मैं यहाँ पे उसको सेलेक्ट करके सेव कर दूंगा एंड यू विल सी इट विल बी डन एक्सक्लूजन्स, कि भाई ये पॉलिसी बाकी चीजों पे काम करेगी, इसके सिवा इसको छोड़ के बाकी चीजों पे काम करेगी. दिस वर्क्स. ओके. नाउ बेसिक व्हाट इज द डेफिनेशन. दिस इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट. व्हाट इज पॉलिसी डेफिनेशन, राइट? वी हैव टू डिफाइन कि what kind of maybe assignment we are providing, what kind of, there are a couple of assignments right over here, like authorized IP should be defined on Kubernetes cluster, on apps functions app should have remote debugging turned off. So these are kind of कि भाई जितनी भी rules and regulations इन लोगों ने बना रखे, so that there is a proper managed deployment. There is no kind of ruckus made over here, right? When we talk about maybe these policies, right? When we talk about these policies, we think of couple of things, right? What we think of, it's more than maybe what we say. Sometimes it's like it's how can I say this? Maybe it's like policies are like it applies to any particular region. You can make some particular region to ki chalo ek kaam, okay, let's do one thing. Let's do one thing. Let's make a okay. Let's do one thing. Let's make a resource group and let's someone not deploy anything on it, right? So what I will do, I'll search here. I'll go here. I'll search for locations. Allowed locations. I'll click on this. I'll click on add. Okay. Understood. ठीक है, यहाँ तक सबको समझ आता है. अच्छा, पहले चलो एक काम कर लेते हैं. Let's make a new resource group and apply this policy to a new resource group. Okay, I'll quickly open the PowerShell and let's apply this policy to a new resource group so that you all can understand how this goes. I'll quickly create a storage account so that all my cloud shell, everything could be restored here. I'll quickly do this. Okay, I'm working on a PowerShell, so this will open me. This will give me two options. Either I can choose Bash or I can choose PowerShell. If you want to use Bash commands, where az config इस तरीके से अगर आपको कमांड्स यूज करनी है तो आप Azure Bash यूज कर सकते हैं. If you want PowerShell commands, if you have good hand with PowerShell, then feel free to go with PowerShell, right? I'm just waiting for this thing to open, then I'll show you how you can do this, right? Unless and until if anyone has any doubt, I'll utilize this command to make the PowerShell. So what name? It is created, right? Yeah, it's here. This is Bash. I'll switch to PowerShell. I have switched now to PowerShell, right? Let's setting up the connection. is authenticating to Azure. And yeah, here it is. Now what I will do, I'll okay, control C plus V, and I'll make a resource group here. Now this command will make a resource group for me. See, resource group has been created. Now if I'll go to home, if I'll click on resource groups, see this, there is one cloud shell that has been deployed, right? It wasn't there, right, when we did it earlier. See, this is the so this is the one, this is not, so again, this one is for the cloud shell that we are using. This is not the resource group that we made. This is for the cloud shell part. अगर ये बंद कर दोगे तो क्लाउड शेल चलना बंद हो जाएगा, ठीक है, इसको डिलीट मत करना. दिस इज द वन विच वी हैव क्रिएटेड. यहाँ पे हमने दिया था ना पैरामीटर prod name vm. So what was our VM virtual machine name? This was our virtual machine name, prod VMs, right? So again, you can see the power sheet here. Now what we will do, we will assign some policies to this group. Okay, we will search for policy. We will search for policy and click on this. I'll assign some policy to this group, right? I'll click on definition. I'll click on assignments, right? I'll wait. I'll click on assign a policy. I'll select these resources. Exclusions, it's fine. I do not want any kind of exclusions. You can always ignore if you do not want any kind of exclusions. And policy definition, what I will do, I'll go to this available definitions. I'll search here for locations, right? I'll search here for locations. So allowed location, add. Now, okay, see, it was for this, so I'll quickly switch to this. I'll switch to prod VM. Okay, I'll switch to prod VM, select. Okay, allowed locations. Okay, now there is yeah, this is it. This is pretty much. Now what I will do, I'll do next advanced. You can always skip because this won't be required. It is kind of override. Maybe if maybe अगर किसी ने 10 बार ट्राई करने का, किसी ने 10 बार ब्रेक करने का रूल किया है, मतलब ट्राई करा है, तो फिर उसके लिए कुछ पर्टिकुलर अलर्ट्स तरीके से सेट करना, वो सब चीजें करना, रिसोर्स एलोकेट करना, वो सब चीजें आप यहाँ पे कर सकते हो, राइट? We don't need it right now. So now it comes to parameter. So we have to select a parameter कि कौन से region में हमें करना है. Let's suppose because we have deployed, which region we have deployed in, we have used North Europe, right? North Europe. So I'll click on North Europe and I'll click on next. Now there is this remediation. What do you mean by remedy? Remedy is something, it's like a solution. Remedy is like a solution for any kind of illness, right? So it is same, right? If by default this assignment, so what this remediation means, this the resource, the policy that I am making right now, this would not apply, this would not apply to any coexisting resource group. But you can see for deploy if not exist policy, deploy modify policy and edit text is existing resources. जो मेरे this will only affect for newly created resources. जो मेरा assignment होगा ये सिर्फ और सिर्फ newly created resource के लिए affect होगा. Why? Because that has been already created by the admin and everyone. Okay, that's why I can make it. I can make this policy if I want to affect it. All the जो मैंने पहले रिसोर्स को बनाया था उनको भी affect करना, so I have to make it deploy if not exist करके मेरे को एक पॉलिसी बनानी पड़ेगी, and this is how I can do it, right? We do not want, right? We have created a new one. Now what is this non-compliance message? So I'm making a rule that this no one will be able to make, maybe locate or maybe make a virtual machine or lock a virtual. I'm going to lock this virtual machine. So that is why that's why this is happening, right? So what I'll give maybe I can give a reason. This time we are testing the policy and locks. I can just go next. It will show me the assignments and everything. I can simply go and create. Right now, this you will see the assignment has been created. Take it. This is it. It has assigned me. It has already assigned this. Now, what I will do is this was or this, right? Now, what I will do, I'll quickly resource. I'll lock my resource group. First of all, let's lock the resource group, right? New source group request not found that accept the argument. Okay. Oh, There is one some problem, right? This one, shift and control C. See, now what kind of cannot delete? No one will be able to delete this. You can see this. Let me do this. Now I have created like product VM lock. मैंने एक बना लिया. What is the name of product VM? It is this. Right? It is under description. What is the resource name? This is the resource name. Ignore this. What is this? Source group name कौन सा है? Product VM पे मैंने लगा रखे. Subscription ID कौन सी है? ये वाली. Level क्या है? Cannot delete. No one will be able to delete the resource group. Right? This is what I have assigned. राइट अब मैं क्या करूंगा कि लेट्स ट्राई टू ब्रिंग दिस अप राइट लेट्स ट्राई टू ब्रिंग दिस अप सो यू नो वी हैव मेड दिस कमांड वर्बोस क्यों यूज करा था याद है किसी को in on day 7th we have discussed about this why we have used verbose is about the default if you want to launch a virtual machine with default settings you can just go with the verbose so what I will do I'll click on this I'll paste this uh, see new is at VM product VM was disallowed by policy see and जो हमने मैसेज लिखा था वहां पे रीजन व्हाट इज द रीजन दिस टाइम वी आर टेस्टिंग द पॉलिसी एंड लॉक्स समझ आया सबको इट्स नॉट लेटिंग मी क्रिएट द पॉलिसी बिकॉज हमने नॉर्थ यूरोप रीजन में एक नया वीएम बनाने पे बैन का काइंड ऑफ बैन लगा दिया हमने as simple as that this is how simple you can do this right so it is more about the from a security perspective that no one any no, you are just making your system so secure that if someone trustworthy your employee is the most trustworthy person ever आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में आपका एम्प्लॉय सबसे ज्यादा ट्रस्टवर्दी होगा राइट उस ट्रस्टवर्दी पर भी थोड़ा बहुत कोई आप चांस नहीं छोड़ रहे हो कोई गलती का that is how you are designing this your entire cloud architecture because if your cloud messes up everything will go down right yeah so now again ऊपर तो मैंने क्या करा था कि मैंने यहाँ पे क्या करा था कि मैंने नॉर्थ यूरोप मैंने ईस्ट यूएस में ट्राई करा था राइट कि मैं बस ईस्ट यूएस में नाउ लेट्स ट्राई टू डिप्लॉय इट ऑन दिस मे बी द नॉर्थ एक बार नॉर्थ यूरोप में ट्राई करते हैं नॉर्थ यूरोप में बनता है क्या हमने मना करा था कि सिर्फ वहां पे बना सकते हैं नॉर्थ यूरोप में बना सकते हैं अब ट्राई करते हैं किसी दूसरे रीजन में बना सकते हैं क्या यहाँ पे हमने जो कमांड रन करे थे इट वाज अबाउट कि क्या हम सी अब because we haven't now this has started in the north europe region what command I have used this is the command I have used now it was about north europe region right because we have selected north europe there now it has started making the virtual machine वो अब resource बनाएगा virtual machine बनाएगा and it will deploy the virtual machine right so this is how the assignment thing and whatnot right this is how it works this is how the policy works I hope you are able to understand there are n number of policies right but understand how to make a policy and what are the use of policies right this is what you need to understand this is pretty much about this session as well right I'm not going to take much of your time you can if you want to explore the Azure policy right I'll share you a couple of resources right like Azure policy I'll go to all and again this guy is very nice John Saville is one of the best guy in order to understand if you want to explore with it no please do not he has explained he took 1 hour 12 minutes right it's not required 1 hour 2 minutes is not required I'll say this is more than enough just 14 minutes is more than enough just if you do not understand the concept of Azure policy you can go watch this YouTube video it will be very easy for you to again understand if you want to explore more go through this video you will explore more right again Microsoft Learn link is already there you can simply search for you can always find these links like you can always details click on this and you'll be able to explore all the things right so this is how pretty much it works this is about the resource allocations and the policy management right now see it has created the virtual machine Right now, see, this VM has been created. Now if I want to show you, just give me a second, I'll quickly show the VM to you. I'll show you virtual machine. We'll go to the virtual machine. See, this prod VM1 has been created here. ठीक है, सी नॉर्थ यूरोप पे बनी है, रनिंग है, डिस्क ये सब असाइंड है. दिस prod VM1 is created here, right? So this is what we have done. This is what I was talking about, right? It was all about this resource allocation and everything. Tomorrow we will cover the most important aspect of the entire Azure thing. If you understand this, like, tomorrow we'll cover this. What we will cover tomorrow? Tomorrow we will cover this part, Azure Network Security Group. This is the most important part because we will understand subnets here, we will understand virtual networks here. So tomorrow is the most important day. Until unless, if you have any doubt, just let me know in the group. This is it for today's session, and make sure you stop your virtual machine after creation. After creation, make sure you stop your virtual machines. I'm always here to help in the WhatsApp group. Feel free to drop your any doubts, any query in the WhatsApp group, right? I would be very happy to help, right? It's not like there might be some delay. There might be always some delay in answer. It's not like you will drop your query and I'll quickly answer. It's not like that. I have some other priorities as well. I have some other works. I'm a working professional. I have a lot to do in my plate, right? Still, I'm just trying to manage somewhere this Azure thing, right? This 100 days of cloud. I do not have as I hardly get time to do my stuff, right? So feel free to explore more. Feel free to explore more about Azure policies, Azure logs. This is it from today. This is it for today from my side. From tomorrow, I'm starting one thing. This is today. You will see the announcement in the group. We have discussed it earlier as well in the last sessions, but due to these 2 days, these again there were two contiguous offline sessions, right? I wasn't able to make. I didn't got the time to make a quiz, right? So what I will do, every day before session we will do a quiz, then we will start the session. Every day before the session, at the starting of the session at 5 p.m. we will do the quiz on the topic which we have covered a day before. So suppose आज हमने policies and logs cover करा है, कल आपकी क्विज होगी 5 बजे एज्योर पॉलिसी एंड लॉग्स के ऊपर. उसके बाद हम अपना आगे का कंसेप्ट स्टार्ट करेंगे, सो दैट यू कैन रिवाइज एंड you can get some goodies as well, right? So this is the primary thought that I had in my mind. But yeah, let's start, right? Let's start something, and I'll quickly I'm just deleting my resources here, right? If you want to see this, hmm, I'm just deleting my resources here because otherwise it will cost me money, right? I do not want my Azure credits to be, because I'm working on a pay as you go subscription, right? I don't want any kind of money to be deducted from my account. That's why I'm doing this. So yeah, make sure you delete all the resources that you are creating. And that's it for today, folks. Quiz on YouTube, we have Discord. On YouTube, we will do on Slido, right? We will do on Slido. I'll share with you one link. We'll do quiz here. But otherwise, some random people from Discord will join and they will win. I do not want that, right? Those who are even not doing the 100 Days of Cloud series, they will join and they will win, right? Because they already know they are good enough to, they have good enough knowledge to about Azure and whatnot, right? So they will win and they will go. I do not want that. I want someone who is doing this series, right? This for for that thing we are already doing the quiz, right? For Azure part we are already doing the quiz, right? Yeah, so that's not an issue. 9 बजे की क्विज है, वो तो होगी. 9 बजे की क्विज तो होगी ही होगी, उसके अलावा एक और क्विज होगी, राइट? सो दैट्स व्हाट आई एम सेइंग. I'll announce it today only. Either today, I'll launch the poster today or by tomorrow, right? I have a lot to do in my plate. I'm very confused right now how I'll manage all the things, but yeah, let's see how this happens. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining in. That's it for today. Thanks you Aksha, thank you Preeti, thank you Navid for being here, thank you Tejas, Devendra, everyone who made it to the day 9th of this. No, just the 9th, just the day 9, just Azure policy. Tomorrow we'll cover only the Azure policy. That's it. That's it. Nothing else. We will only cover Azure policy tomorrow. Okay. We'll only do the quiz on Azure policies. Because आज जितने लोगों ने भी आज 4-5 लोगों ने ज्वाइन करा है, they do not know, right? It, like Devesh and all these folks, Devendra and Tejas, it's day 1 for them, right? For them it's day 1, right? They knew the concept of Azure policy a bit, but they don't know what we've covered earlier, right? So why to bother someone, right? So yeah, so thank you everyone for joining in. Yeah, it's all about. Okay, I had one more thought in my mind. I don't know how, if you will like it or not. I was wondering if we can do these. Thank you, Mohan. If we can do these session on Microsoft Teams, because we are less folks right now. We are, it's like under 10 or maybe sometimes 15 folks. We can do this on maybe Microsoft Teams as well. Let's see. Let's right now. We'll plan it. We'll plan it. uh till 31st, till 8th of February we have to do it on YouTube only. I'll see if we post that, if by 8th of February we can do this, we can switch the platform. It would be more interactive then, right? People will be able to showcase me if they are getting any kind of error. So we'll plan. So yeah, right now, okay, these are just my thoughts right now, right? So thank you everyone for joining in. That's it for today, and hope enjoy the great evening. Yeah, it's a cold evening. Enjoy the great evening and happy Republic Day to everyone. And yeah, thank you. Have a happy weekend. Thank you everyone.